There we go. All right. Hopefully, there is sound on Duckbait TV now. Thank you all for joining us, and thank you for staying patient with us. We had a situation right beforehand where we had to switch some equipment, and I didn't tell the computer that we switched the equipment, so I do apologize for that. It is 9:36. There is 9:36 to go here in the first quarter. Labette County is getting ready to punt. It's 4th down and 9. Back to receive will be Cal Cousins. High punt. Need to get away. It hit a Labette County player and will be down right near the 50. We'll see where they spot it because it actually hit the Labette player inside the Fort Scott 45-yard line, and that's where they're going to put it down, right around the 44, it looks like. Thanks again for joining us here on Duckbait TV. Again, I do apologize as we had to switch some equipment right before we started tonight, and forgot to tell the computer that we did that, so it did not pick up the sound there early, but we are 9:21 left to go here in the first quarter, and Fort Scott with their first possession of the game. You haven't missed a whole lot as Labette County, hopefully you were getting video, but no sound there for a little bit. Labette County had the first possession, had to turn it over on a punt, and now Fort Scott with their first opportunity here. Lennox Van starting at quarterback for the Tigers once again, as he's kind of split that role with Colton Rogers this season. And Jasper Allison with the carry. I believe he had the carry on the first play as well. And didn't get anything. So 3rd down, we'll call it 3rd and about 6. The board has 7, but I'm going to say 3rd and 6. It's on the 48 of Fort Scott. They've got to get it to the Labette County 46-yard line. Fort Scott, play clock down to 15. They're taking some time here on this 3rd down play. Play clock down to 5. They will get it snapped. They'll work it to the far side. And Lennox has a hole. He's through a couple of defenders. 30, 20. He may go. 10, 5. Touchdown. Fort Scott Tigers. Touchdown. Lennox Van. So Lennox on the 3rd play from scrimmage for the Fort Scott Tigers uses his athleticism. The Tigers went the opposite way. They ran motion to the near side and then ran to the far side. And now Lennox is going to try to go in to attempt the extra point. Kick is up, and the kick is good. So Fort Scott is up 7-0 here in the early going. Again, thanks for joining us on Duckbait TV this evening.
To mention our LCHS Booster Club VIP packages. We have 4 state
7:54 to go here in the first quarter. I was looking, they've got timeouts in the middle of the board up there, and so of course both teams have all 3 timeouts remaining at this point. But anyway, it is 7-0 Fort Scott, and the Tigers will be kicking off for the 2nd time here this evening as they kicked off to start the game. Thanks again for joining us here on Duckbait TV. A little bit of a goofy beginning to this one, but we should be on and going now. So again, thanks for joining us. We've got a new sponsor this week. We'll tell you about all of our sponsors here momentarily, as we've got several that are really doing a great job for us this year, really helping us out.
keep again for the Grizzlies, number 1 Lawrence Holt, number 8 Barrett Heston. Again, kicking off for the Tigers.
So receiving
is number 6.
back in receiving position, Lawrence Holt and Barrett Heston, the 2 receivers for Labette County. Heston will take the reception, and he will get it up across the 35 to the 36, maybe 7. We'll see where they put it down.
45-yard return there by Barrett Heston. gives us a 1st and 10 for the Grizzlies on the 37-yard line.
So out of the shotgun here for Labette County, that's a position or a formation they use quite a bit. They'll hand it off right up the middle. Jamal Johnson, their tailback, or excuse me, Jamal Jackson, he will run and get close to the first down. And they will say he got exactly 10 yards, so he got the first down. It'll be 1st down and 10 coming up for Labette County. Their quarterback tonight is Kendall Holtzman. He is a 6'1", 215-pound senior. Jamal Jackson is the tailback. He is a 5'10", 170-pound sophomore. They'll go trips to the near side, and they'll roll to the near side with the quarterback, Holtzman. He'll throw over the middle. It's incomplete. Nice defensive job by the Tigers. Oh, and Labette County, that is something I've learned with these kids from Altamont over the last few years doing these games. They love to scream at the officials, and that was a perfect play defensively by Lennox Van. He came up. As soon as the ball got there, Lennox got there, and the receiver for Labette County, Keegan Bates, he definitely thought that he was interfered with, which was absolutely not the case that time. 7:17 to go here in the first quarter. 7-0 Fort Scott with the lead. Labette County with the football ball on their own 47. They've got one receiver to the far side, 3 to the near side, and out of that pistol formation again. They're going to snap it, hand it off to Jackson, and he got nothing. Tackled there by 3 different Tigers right there in the area. It'll be 3rd down and long for the Grizzlies.
Ryder Newton and number 44, J.C. Gross. 3rd down and 10 for the Grizzlies.
Quarterback out of the gun, going to throw it near side. It's going to be incomplete. So that'll bring up 4th down and long here for Labette County.
Colton Rogers, 4th down for the Grizzlies.
So Labette County will be punting again. Heston will be the punter. And it looks like Cal is back to receive once again for the Tigers. Kick is away. It's a high one but short. Fort Scott will get away from it, and Labette will down it right around the 31 or 32-yard line. So that will be where Fort Scott will take over again. With 6:39 to go here in the first quarter. Again, the Tigers already leading this one 7-0. If you're just joining us, thanks for doing so here on Duckbait TV. We've got some great sponsors this year. We've even got a new one this week, and we'll tell you about them in just a few moments as the Tigers look like they're about ready to start their next drive. And now we've got a whistle and flags come in. It's not always a good sign when you... And they're going to call false start on Fort Scott.
5-yard penalty makes it 1st and 15 for the Tigers.
And the first play from scrimmage here in this possession on 1st and 15 is a run to the right side and not much there.
And also number 22, Peyton Claiborne is also in on the tackle.
So 2nd down and about 16. Ball on the 26 here. Fort Scott, they got crossed up in the backfield. Oh, my goodness, they got rid of it over to Cal. He's going to get by one tackler, gets by a second. He will get back to the original line of scrimmage before he's pushed out of bounds. I don't know how that happened, as Lennox Van and Cal both kind of collided in the backfield. Almost looked like one thought the play was going one direction and the other thought the play was going the other way. So they kind of collided, stopped their momentum, and then as soon as Lennox got wrapped up, he pitched it out near side to Cal, and Cal was able to move down the field and get all of the lost yardage back. So it's going to be 3rd down and 10. Ball's going to be at the 32, so they got to get to the 42. Back to pass, rolling to the right, Lennox. Still looking, will get hit. Now he's going to take off. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. So he'll be taken down. It'll be 4th down and 10. Ball's going to be right around the 32.
In the kick for the Tigers is number 16, Colton Rogers, and back for the Grizzlies, number 1, Lawrence Folk.
So Colton Rogers will be back to punt again for the Tigers. He has punted 4 times so far this season for a total of 111 yards. It's an average of 27.5 yards per punt. He's going to get a good one here. He's going to roll to the, and they bobbled it around. It's loose. It's still loose. And I think Fort Scott may have it. They do. A poor decision by Labette County to try to pick that up and scoot with it, and they scooted it right into the hands of the Tigers. So Fort Scott will retake possession, and it'll be 1st down and 10. Ball is on the Labette County 43-yard line. So 1st down and 10 for the Tigers there. 5:05 to play here in the first quarter. We'll call it the 43. It's really in between the 43 and 44. And then a pitch here to Cal. He's going to get to the outside, makes one man miss. Can't make the second guy miss, but he does get enough for the 1st down. He'll be really close to the 30-yard line.
First and 10 from the 31 for the Tigers.
So 1st down and 10 for Fort Scott.
Quarterback keeper there, number 6.
And Lennox will keep the ball, but he will get back to the line of scrimmage, maybe even lost a yard, and that's it. So it'll be 2nd down and long for the Tigers. Clock ticks under 4:20 to play here in the first quarter. 7-0 Fort Scott. Thanks again for joining us here on Duck Bait TV. We're getting word that we've got some choppy video. We'll try to see what if we can fix that here as we go on. Here's the pitch to the near side, and that is Chase Heyer. And he is going to get to the near side of the 26, maybe the 27. It is possible that we are dealing with some low bandwidth here in Altamont, Kansas tonight. We are, of course, if you're new to the area, you may not know Altamont is close to Parsons, but we're probably 15 miles from Parsons, so it appears that our service is not as good as it usually is because we're kind of out in the country a little bit here tonight. 3rd down and 6 coming up here for the Tigers. They'll hand it off to Jasper, up the middle, wide open hole, up to the 15, down to the 10. He's taken down there. It'll be 1st and goal for the Tigers. Clock rolls under 3 minutes to go here.
It's like 1st and 10 from the 10-yard line. 1st and goal.
Under center. Handoff goes to Heyer. He's going to make around the end, and he will get in the end zone. Touchdown, Fort Scott Tigers. Touchdown, Chase Hire. Second touchdown of the quarter for Fort Scott.
Now to kick the extra point is number 6.
And Lennox will be doing the kicking as well for the Tigers here. Again, made the first one. We'll see what he can do here with the second one. Snap is down, hold is down, and the kick is through there. And it is 14-0 in favor of the Fort Scott Tigers.
I'd like to continue with our LC Booster Club VIP backers. Thank you for your support. Farm Bureau Financial Services, Kendall Hall Agency, The Flash Company, George Electric, Great Southern Bank, Higher Calling Technologies, Kessler Photography, Labette.
.228 left to go here in the first quarter. The Fort Scott Tigers lead the Labette County Grizzlies 14-0, and they will kick off once again. It'll be a short kick, and it's going to be covered up by Labette right around the 35, maybe even the 36-yard line.
Ball's down there by number 17. That's Bradley Black. The first and 10 for the Grizzlies. First and 10 from the 36-yard line.
So first down and 10 for the Grizzlies. And it looks like maybe they're going to try to reset the clock a little bit. So right now it's saying it's 2:23 left. They may have let a couple of seconds run off the clock when Labette grabbed the return there. And they probably shouldn't have, because they grabbed the return and went right to the ground. So it probably should have worked like a fair catch. And no time coming off the clock. So they're going to put looks like 2:25 back up there. Well, and it looks like the official on the near side is not happy with 2:25 either. He's still standing here on the near sideline. Now they've got 20 minutes up there. At some point, you just say put the clock where it was and then wait an extra 2 or 3 seconds before you hit go. Sometimes it's harder to type in an exact time than it is just to reset for the end of the quarter. That's a pretty easy maneuver. So all of that for 2 seconds, or 4 seconds, I believe, of clock time. 2:27 left to go. Labette out of the pistol again. They're going to hand it off to Jackson again, and he got nothing. Stonewalled by the defensive line for the Fort Scott Tigers.
Number 44,
J.C. Gross was in there from his linebacker position, but also Jacob Snyder and Luke Harris in there on the tackle as well.
Second down and 11 for the
Eli Martin in there maybe too. So second down, we'll say 11. Ball's right on the 35. Loss of 1 on that previous play. Again out of the pistol. Back to pass. He'll try to throw a hitch and go on the near sideline. It is going to be incomplete. Good defense there by Dub Chipman as he was able to, I couldn't quite tell if he got a hand on it or just made it difficult for the receiver for Labette County to catch the ball. But either way, it's an incomplete pass, and it'll be third down and 11 now for Labette County. Again, they run this pistol offense most of the time. Watched a little bit of their game last week against Wellington. And they were able to move the ball a little bit on Wellington, but their defense really struggled. And they ended up losing that game. Final score was 46-24. Back to pass. They did score 4 touchdowns in that game. They haven't scored yet, and they're not going to score on this possession, I don't believe, as that is a major sack for the Tigers. Ryder Newton got in the backfield, and it's going to be a loss of at least 10, maybe even 12. So a big play by the Fort Scott defense. Nice job again by Ryder Newton as he got in there and got the sack. So 1:46 to play. They've stopped the clock for some reason. The NFL on sacks, the clock stops, but not in high school. Now the clock's moving. And Labette back to punt. This one kind of a sidewinder. Cal's going to let it bounce. And it's down by the Grizzlies right around the Tiger 46. So 1st down and 10 for Fort Scott coming up as they will start this possession with 1 minute and 32 seconds left to go on the game clock. Here in this quarter. So Lennox back under center for the Tigers. He's going to hand it off to Jasper, and he's going to get a couple yards, maybe 3, maybe even 4. We'll see where they put it down. He just kind of kept churning those legs. It'll be 2nd down and manageable here for the Tigers. We'll say 2nd and 6. Ball's going to be right near the 42. They've got to get it to the 36 of Labette County. So it'll be 2nd down and 6 for the Tigers here. Of course, Fort Scott tonight in their all-white uniforms, white helmets, white tops, white pants. Labette County, kind of the opposite of that. All red tonight. Red helmets, red pants, and red jerseys. Lennox with the run, and he got hit right at the line of scrimmage. So not much there for the Tigers on that play. And we'll see. They converted a big 3rd down. They may wait till they've got to snap it one more time. There's about 4 seconds, 3.5 seconds difference between the play clock and the game clock here. So they will have to snap it one more time before the end of the first quarter. And they will do that. They're going to look to pass. They'll throw it near side, and it is caught! Catch by Dub Chipman on the near side. He out-jumped the Labette receiver or defender and makes the catch. Nice job by Dub to get that catch. Good throw by Lennox. A little bit short, but right where Dub needed it to be. And I think they're going to let the clock run out and move sides now as Fort Scott leads it 14-0 here as the first quarter clock continues to roll.
When the second quarter begins, there'll be 2nd down, it'll be 1st down and 10.
And they will let the clock run out. So the Fort Scott Tigers, after 1 quarter of play, lead the Labette County Grizzlies 14-0 here at Lucas Field in Altamont tonight. We'll take a short break, come back with the second quarter in just a moment.
Bowler Cement Finishing, Bowler Construction, Bowler Truck and Tire, Wade Wireless, The Woodshed, WW Backhoe and Trenching, and The Yoke Bar and Grill. Also, I'd like to take this opportunity to introduce our cheerleaders for tonight. Our cheerleaders, we have sophomore Brianna Barnes, freshman Abby Colvin, senior Madison Figuera, sophomore Hadley Gray, senior Isabel Hall, freshman Megan Hannigan, sophomore Lacey Merritt, senior captain All-American Paige Mustang, junior Natalie Seishu, senior Nargis Chikbona, senior All-American Corey Steelman, senior All-American Kennedy Terrell, senior Taylor Sticky, senior Mia Tolan, freshman Allison Whitaker, sophomore Peyton White, Piper White, and freshman Adley Rucker. The ball is carried by number 5 for Fort Scott.
So back here to start the second quarter. Apologize about that. They were a little bit quicker starting the second quarter than I thought. Cal Cousins with the carry on that play, and he got a loss. Ended up losing about 3 yards on the play. So it'll be second down and about 13 here. Still trying to figure out our issues with the video. It's still a little bit choppy. It's even choppy on my computer, which is not a great sign for the rest of the night here tonight. Lennox is going to keep the football, and he will get down inside the 15, down to about the 13. So I believe we're dealing with some bandwidth issues, and sometimes that just happens, and unfortunately there's not a lot that we can do about that at the moment. So we will continue to look into that. Do apologize for that, but hopefully you're seeing somewhat of a picture and hearing us here on Duckbait TV. Again, thanks for joining us on the broadcast here tonight, as we've got some sponsors that we need to tell you about here in just a few moments, and hopefully another touchdown to tell you about soon here, as the Tigers have a 3rd down and 4 coming up. Lennox back under center. They're going to run a man in motion. Now they're going to put – and we're going to have a whistle and a timeout, it looks like, for the Tigers. So they will take a second to talk about that, and that will give us a chance to talk about our sponsors here this evening, as we've got some good ones again. Mentioned we've got a new sponsor this week, and that is Joey Fritter. Joey Fritter is a loan officer with Open Mortgage. Open Mortgage is a multi-channel mortgage lender, believing that better is possible, constantly striving to bring a better mortgage experience to everyone. Joey can assist you when buying a home from start to finish. Her office is located at 1 East Wall Street in Fort Scott, the downtown district, of course. Call today to get pre-qualified for a home loan at 620-644-8146. And, again, huge thanks to Joey Fritter and all of our sponsors for helping us out this season here on Duckbait TV, as it is 3rd down and 4 coming up for Fort Scott. They will hand it off, and Allison will get enough for the 1st down. He needed 4. He got about 5 on the play, so it'll be 1st down and goal for Fort Scott.
Looks like that was enough for a 1st down. Inside the 10-yard line must be 1st down and about 9. First and goal. 1st and goal for the Tigers.
So 1st down and goal for Fort Scott. They'll go again quickly, and they'll go back to Jasper, and he got 1, maybe closer to 3 or 4. He's going to be down close to the 5-yard line on that play.
Michael Reed. Gave about 4 on the play. 2nd down and goal from the 5.
2nd and goal for the Tigers. And they get it to Colton Rogers, and he's not going to get a lot.
Number 17, Bradley Black, and number 21, Peyton Claiborne.
In fact, I think he only got back to the line of scrimmage. So it'll be 3rd down and goal from the 5 for the Tigers. Lennox will hand it off. No, it's pitched and fumbled, and Labette is going to grab it. So Labette jumps on top of it there right around the 10, so Fort Scott turns it over for the first time tonight. So tough luck for the Tigers.
1st and goal, 1st and 10 for the Grizzlies from the 10-yard line.
So 1st down and 10 for Labette. They're going to try to go for it all. Near side, it's thrown, and it's caught. It was deflected by the Fort Scott defender there, Cal, but somehow off of the deflection was caught by Labette County's receiver. I believe that was Barrett Heston who made the catch that time for Labette. And it's going to get them all the way down to the 44-yard line. So a 34-yard gain on that play. 8:42 and counting to play here in the second quarter. Again, Fort Scott with the lead, 14-0, but they had a great chance to get it to 3 scores and turn it over just a few moments ago. Handoff, and not much there. They have not had much of anything up the middle with Jamal Jackson so far tonight. The Fort Scott defensive front has been very stout so far. It'll be 2nd down and 11 for Labette County.
Loss of 1 on the play, 2nd down and 11 for the Grizzlies.
Pass to the near side, and that is going to be incomplete. It was a little bit too far. It looks like they were kind of trying to set up a screen to Keegan Bates on the near side and threw it a little bit too far and incomplete. Quarterback back to pass. He's going to step up, gets to the right, gets loose. Now he's going to be taken down from behind. Great pursuit by the Tigers.
Brings up 4th down and about 9 for the Grizzlies.
Looked like Malachi Cady on the tackle that time. Number 87 listed as a linebacker, but playing right defensive end right now. Punt formation again for Labette. It's going to be near side and will bounce and roll towards the 20. It's going to stop right around the 23, and that's where Fort Scott will take over possession, 1st down and 10. So after the big play on the first play of that previous drive for Labette County, they get nothing more and have to punt it away again to the Tigers. So Fort Scott has done great on defense. They've really done pretty good on offense as well to this point. The only blemish was that turnover just on the previous possession.
Pitch out there to number 3.
Pitch goes to Higher, and Chase will be close to a 1st down, a gain of about 9 on the play.
Gain of 9 on the play, 2nd down and 1 for the Tigers.
And Lennox going to keep the ball like he was going to hand it off to Jasper, and at the last second pulled it, and that was a good decision because he was able to get around the line and get down the field for the 1st down. So he picks up that 1st down. Ball's going to be right around the 33-yard line, 6:16 and counting to play here in the second quarter. Fort Scott with the lead, 14-0 over Labette County. Hand off to Higher. He'll get around the left corner and nearly broke it. He's going to get tackled from behind, but he had one man to beat, and he might have been able to score on that one. He's going to get another 12 or so yards on that into Labette County territory. They're going to put it down at the 49-yard line. So 1st down and 10 for the Tigers once again.
First and 10 for the Tigers on the 49-yard line.
Handoff.
I think it's number 7.
Goes to Allison, and he will get 5 yards on the play. That'll bring up 2nd down and about 5 for the Tigers. Fort Scott continues to roll on offense. In the only time they have been stopped, they stopped themselves with that turnover on the previous possession. Pitch to the near side. They get it to Cal, and he's going to get the first down. He's going to get over the right side of the line to the 38-yard line. So enough for the first down. Another first down gain for the Tigers. 4:51 to play in the quarter. Fort Scott methodically moving down the field once again. Heyer has the ball. He'll move to the left side and get out of bounds, but he's going to be close to another first down for the Tigers. Fort Scott just continues to use the athleticism of Chase Heyer and Cal Cousins, along with Jasper Allison's bruising ability up the middle, and every now and then throwing Lennox in there and his athleticism. And it'll be another first down for the Tigers. Ball's going to be on the 28-yard line of Labette County. Fake handoff. They're going to give it to the number 2 guy through the hole, and that's Cal. He's to the 10-5, touchdown. Fort Scott Tigers. Touchdown, Cal Cousins. That time they faked to the first man through. I believe that was Chase. They gave it to the second man through, which was Cal, and Labette County fell for the fake. And Cal, he did have to break it and move a couple, or get by a couple of guys, but he did his job and got into the end zone for another Tiger score. The kick is, this one's no good. It looks like off to the left. Maybe deflected a little bit there. So the score remains 20-0 in favor of Fort Scott. .408 to play here in the second quarter. The Tigers leading by 3 scores, 20-0 over the Labette County Grizzlies.
Number 6 kicking off for Fort Scott. That's Lennox Van.
So Lennox Van will be kicking off again for the Tigers. Van coming into tonight with those PATs, 2 for 3. He's 2 for 3 in this one here this evening as well. So 4 for 6 on the season for Lennox. And here's a kick that's bobbled around but finally taken by Labette. And they will be taken down right near the 18. We got a flag that comes out late, and we'll see if that's on the Tigers. There was a Tiger tackler that got a handful of jersey, but I don't know if he got the wrong part of the jersey or maybe if he slipped off that, ended up with the face mask at some point. We'll see what they call here. 4 minutes exactly to go here in the first half of play tonight. Now they got to go over and tell Coach Graham what they've called here, it looks like. Call unsportsmanlike on the Tigers. So after the return, they're going to put 15 extra yards on the end of that return. So that's going to give Labette County decent field position. And, yeah, they need to keep going. They had the ball at the 18, I believe. So, yeah, they need to put it on the 33.
33-yard line.
So it'll be first down and 10 for Labette. Handoff goes to Jackson. He'll get through a couple of tacklers. He's got some room to the near side. Can the Tigers catch him? They make him move to the inside. And here comes Chipman, and it's going to be in there for a touchdown. Excuse me, it was Colton Rogers I thought maybe could get Jackson at the end there, but couldn't get there. So a big play by Labette County, and they're going to get on the board for the first time tonight. Grizzlies are a team that you do not want to let get momentum here.
And for the extra point, number 5, Nolan Nash.
So extra point coming here for Nolan Nash of the Grizzlies. He will kick it up there, and it gets through there for the 1 point. So that'll make it 20-7 now.
Nice hold there by number 4, Keegan Bates.
.346, so that drive took 14 seconds. One play and a touchdown for Labette County. What Fort Scott needs to do now, as they will get the ball to start the second half, so they need to go, I believe, they kicked off to start the game, so they will need to go down here, take 3:46 off the clock, score right at the end of the first half, and then come back out and score again at the end of at the beginning of the second half. We'll see if they can do that or not. But they're going to have plenty of time for their offense to move down the field the way they have so far tonight. Again, they have only stopped themselves. They have had the ball 4 times. They have scored 3 touchdowns, and the other drive was a Tiger turnover deep inside Labette County territory. In fact, I believe they were inside the 5. Labette took over on the 10 after the fumble recovery.
Looks like number 23, Manny Ramirez, will be kicking off for the Grizzlies. That deep for Fort Scott is number 6, Lennox Band. Excuse me, number 5, Cal Cousins.
Cal Cousins is back to receive the kick here for Labette. And they will squib kick it. The Tigers will take it and go down right across the 40, right around the 42.
Fort Scott, he downs the ball. That's Cedric Martin. The first and 10 for the Tigers on the 42-yard line. 42. Hand off to number 5 for Fort Scott. He stopped there.
So Cousins will take the ball on the first play of the drive. They'll get right up close to midfield. They're going to stop him right about the 49, it looks like. So it'll be second down here for the Tigers. Again, Fort Scott, 2 timeouts remaining, 3:20 on the clock. We got a whistle, and it looks like the Tigers had 2 guys in motion in opposite directions, which is not legal. So it'll be a penalty, a 5-yard penalty on the Tigers. So after the run by Cal, they will lose 5 yards. So it'll be second down and about 8 coming up for Fort Scott.
For the Tigers.
Two receivers in the formation. They'll send a man in motion. Now they're going to throw the ball. Wide open is Chase Heyer. He's got the catch. 30, 20, 10. Touchdown. Fort Scott Tigers. Touchdown Lennox Van to Chase Heyer. And just about as quickly as Labette County scored their first touchdown, the Tigers reach pay dirt again. So Fort Scott now leads at 26-7, and it looks like they're going to try to go for two to make up for the blocked extra point on the previous possession. They're going to line up in their normal goal line formation here. And Lennox is going to keep it and into the end zone for the two-point conversion. 28-7 Tigers.
Lennox Van around for the 2-point conversion.
3 minutes to go in the second quarter. Just 1 minute of game time to go. Labette County was getting the ball back, and it was 20-0. Now, 60 seconds of game time later, it is 28-7 in favor of Fort Scott. And you would hope whatever momentum that Labette County gained on that long touchdown run was stopped by the Tigers with their long touchdown pass. So the Fort Scott Tigers will kick off again.
Okay, Fort Scott's getting ready to kick off again. Number 6 is their kicker, Lennox Van.
So Van will do the kicking.
Grizzlies, number 1, Lawrence Holt, and number 8, Barrett Heston.
Holt and Heston will both be back to receive this kick for Labette County. And another little squib kick for the Tigers is recovered by Labette. And they will take possession, looks like, right around the 29. So that's where they will have it. First down at 10.
2 minutes, 58 seconds left in the first
With
half.
2 minutes and 58 seconds to go. Labette, again, their previous possession, a 1-play touchdown drive. Fort Scott came back with a 2-play touchdown drive. And now Labette has the ball back. They're actually going to place it down at the 30. So first and 10 for the Grizzlies at the 30-yard line. Fort Scott running in someone late on that defensive line. But they get set in time out of the pistol and handing it off to Jackson. And he will get hit at the line of scrimmage and taken down again. So one time Jackson has scooted through the line and gotten a big gain. That was, of course, the touchdown on the previous drive. Just about every other time he's touched the ball, Fort Scott has met him either in the backfield or the line of scrimmage, and he has not gotten a lot of positive yardage tonight. It'll be second down, and we'll call it 10. He lost about 6 inches on the play. 2 receivers to the near side, 2 to the far side. Again, no tight ends in this formation. We got a flag that comes down in the offensive backfield, and was it intercepted? It was not intercepted, but great defense nonetheless on the back end by Ty Marbury. We do have a flag down in the offensive backfield. That's usually holding, but not always, so we'll see what they call. They do call holding on Labette, so it'll be Fort Scott takes the penalty. They can decline it, and it'll be third down and 10. They can move them back, and it'll be second down still. Looks like they're going to take the penalty. Nope, they're not. They're going to decline it. It'll be third down and 10. So it's one of those things, if you take it
Third down and 10. Third down and 10 for the Grizzlies.
and push them back, it's second down and 20. But they do have some explosive athletes. So to force them into a third down and 10 here, probably the better play. Of course, Fort Scott thinks it's that way. Otherwise, they probably would have taken that penalty. 2:19 to go here in the second quarter. Fort Scott still has 2 timeouts remaining. If they can force a fourth down, a punt, get the ball back, they might be able to score again before the halftime break. We'll see. They'll throw it to the near side, and it is caught. And that will be plenty for the first down. The receiver is taken down on the near side by Fort Scott. Brody Gomez on the tackle. The receiver was Xavier Phillips. on the reception, and he's going to get the ball all the way down to the Labette County 49-yard line. So big gain on that 3rd down and 10. Throw over the middle, and it is incomplete and nearly intercepted. Went through the hands of the Labette County receiver, and then, hit Brody Gomez kind of in the face mat. I think Brody was more concerned about playing defense there, and that's what he's supposed to do as the defender. But he's upset with himself for not intercepting that ball. It was right in his hands there. But either way, it's going to be incomplete. It's going to be 2nd down and 10 for Labette County. Still good defense by the Tigers, for sure. 1:46 now left to play in the first half. And again, Labette with the football right about the 49. Fort Scott coming on a blitz. It's picked up, throw to the far side, and it is going to be complete, but not nearly enough for the first down. Pass is going to be caught by Nolan Nash over there. Clock continues to roll. He got about 4 on the play. So 3rd down and 6. Labette does have all 3 timeouts to go, and they're not calling any right now. It'll be 3rd down, and we'll say about 6, maybe 6.5. For Labette, they got to get it to the 41. It's on the 47. Back to pass. They'll throw it over the middle. It is complete near the first down marker. He shakes the tackler. He's going to get that first down. So the clock will stop here. The ball is going to be down at the 37-yard line. And Labette will call their first time out here. So 1:09 to play. And the receiver is getting up. Phillips holding his left arm. Hopefully he's okay there.
Some go from the bottom, ladies, and go up. Okay, so the 23-24, Labette County cheerleaders. We have freshman Adley Wolford, sophomore Piper White.
Again, Labette taking their first time out of the second quarter. First time out of the first half. Just happens to be with 1:09 to go here in the second quarter. And we'll see what the Tigers want to do here. On defense, they brought a blitz a couple of plays ago, and it was picked up at the last second as they sent J.C. Gross through, looked like the A or B gap there, right up the middle. And he was able to get into the backfield. He was picked up by the tailback, Jamal Jackson, and that gave the Labette County quarterback, Holtzman, just barely enough time to get a pass thrown. First down and 10 coming out of the timeout for Labette County. Again, out of that pistol, again a blitz by the Tigers. And the quarterback, Holtzman, will run by the couple of Tiger defenders and get up the field as they spread out the Tiger defense, and that left a hole right up the middle that Holtzman was able to run and gain about 7 yards. We'll see how quickly they go as the clock is down to 50 seconds. Fort Scott really needs to step up here on the defensive side and force either the quarter to end or a turnover, something of the sort. Pass to the far side, it's going to be incomplete. So that'll stop the clock. It'll be 3rd down and 3 for Labette. The ball is on the 30. They've got to get it to the 27, it looks like. So 39.2 seconds to go. (28-7), Fort Scott with the lead. Late second quarter. Thanks again for joining us here on Duckbait TV. Quarterback takes the snap, a quick throw near side, and it's incomplete. They ran a couple of slants on the near side, and the play was there, but the receiver didn't turn around quickly enough to make the catch. It was intended for Xavier Phillips here on the near side, and it goes incomplete. It'll be 4th down and 3. Wonder if they may run a very similar play here. They still have 2 timeouts remaining, so they've got pretty much their entire playbook to look at here, it would appear. Holtzman, again, out of that pistol formation. That's what they're in most of the time. He will take a quick snap. They will run the same play, a little hitch route this time, though, and it is complete, and that will be enough for the first down. So the clock will stop with 31 seconds to go, and Labette will call their second timeout.
Number 3, Xavier Phillips. First down for the Grizzlies.
H2 Painting LLC, the right way the first time. Look them up on Facebook at facebook.com/H2 Painting SEK or call them at 620-605-2769. Chad Cousins is your local 1842 Wealth Management Financial Advisor. Contact Chad for more information by email at chad@1842wealth.com or call Chad at 620-215-9240. Back to play here, and it is first down and 10 after the quick fourth down conversion by Labette County. 3 receivers to the far side. Now they're going to run a man in motion to the near side. So they'll have receivers split. Looked like the receiver that came in motion was leaning a little bit forward right at the snap. Shouldn't be allowed, but they got the play off anyway, and then an incomplete pass on the backside. So I'm sure Fort Scott would, in that case, rather take the incompletion than the penalty. So it'll be second down and 10. 24 seconds left to go here in the first half. Fort Scott leading this one 28-7. Hopefully, the Tigers can hold and keep this 28-7 lead going into the break here in the next almost 30 seconds. They'll call a blitz again as Holtzman steps up, throws over the middle. It is intercepted at the goal line. He came out. He's got to run. He's going to. Near side, it's Cal Cousins. He's to the 20. He's to the 30. He's going to be taken out of bounds and taken down late. They will, I guess, call that incidental contact. There is a flag down in the middle of the field. We'll check that. Hopefully that's on Labette and won't affect the interception here. Cal Cousins read it perfectly. He picked it off, and he intercepted it right near the goal line. If he intercepts that in the end zone, he can go down, and it'll be a touchback. The smart decision he made there is he caught it kind of on the edge of the G. So he was outside of the end zone. At least it appeared from our view that he was outside of the end zone and then tried to go in the end zone. If he goes down in that case, it's a safety, and Labette gets 2 points in the ball back. So what Cal did was he was able to shake the defender and then run up the near side and get some positive yards. If the play stands, it'll be Fort Scott ball on the 34-yard line. So a great job, again, defensively by Cal Cousins, but the officials are trying to sort out this flag in the middle of the field here. Labette's defense is on the field, and Fort Scott's offense is on the field. So it looks like, from that setup, that it'll be on Labette County, but we'll check. Fort Scott, if it is on Labette County, say it's a hole or something like that, Fort Scott would decline it so they would keep possession. Yeah, it looks like the Labette County offense is coming back on the field. So let's see. Wonder if that means they're going to pick up the flag. It's right in the area that usually you would call holding. I do not see another flag down. I just see the one. So maybe they did call a second penalty. Looks like the penalty must have been Fort Scott. They're going to call unsportsmanlike conduct?
Fort Scott, 15-yard penalty, makes it first and 10.
Usually you don't see unsportsmanlike conduct during the play. Usually that's after the play. So again, if it was after the play would stand and then Fort Scott would get the ball with minus on the yardage, but they called it unsportsmanlike during the play on Fort Scott. I do not understand that, but that's what they called. So it'll be first down and goal for Labette on the 10-yard line. Quarterback out of the pistol, throws it far side. Look around, Dub. He does at the last second, and they will throw a flag on him, of course. There was some hand checking in the end zone, and, of course, he didn't make a motion to throw the flag until the Labette County kid complained about it. I will say that, but they will get it. I think it was a penalty on Dub. There was some pretty heavy hand checking there down in the end zone. Now, this will be a half the distance penalty. If this was tomorrow or Sunday, they would Labette County would get the ball on the 1 because that penalty occurred in the end zone. But it is still in high school. It is still just half the distance. So it will be first and goal from the 5. 6 seconds left to go. Fort Scott, if they can cover well here on defense, this should be the last play of the first half. We'll see. And Tigers called the blitz. Jasper was trying to read the snap count and just got a little bit too quick with that. So another penalty on the Tigers.
So it should be first and goal from the 2.5-yard line.
So 6 seconds left to go here in the first half. Again, if Fort Scott plays good enough defense for long enough, you think 2 or 3 seconds, this should be the final play of the first half. We'll see. Play clock down to 4. They do bring their tight end in as an extra running back in the backfield. They'll hand it off to Jackson, and he will scoot into the end zone. And they didn't start the clock. They didn't start the clock. It still says 6 seconds left. So Fort Scott may get an opportunity here. It's going to be 28-13, and we'll see. Labette, I'm sure, will kick the extra point here.
Looks like number 5, Nolan Nash, out for the extra point attempt.
And it will be Nolan Nash to kick the extra point. He's usually the guy that does that. And he will kick that one. I think he went wide right on it, and he does, and that misses. So 28-13. I'm still in awe of the fact that they didn't hit go on the clock there on that previous play. There were 6 seconds to go when that play started, and there are still 6 seconds to go now. There is no way a halfback draw up the middle took. I will say this. They do have the tenths of second on there, which I've never understood in football, but that's a whole nother deal. So it was actually 6.9. But there is no way in the world that a halfback draw up the middle from the 3-yard line only took 9/10 of a second. So somebody was a little bit slow on that trigger over in the press box. But we'll see. Fort Scott may be able to set up a return here and get some cheap points right before the half. 28-13 is the score. Fort Scott with the lead. And we'll see what Labette does here. They have, I think, not kicked it deep on either of their touchdowns.
Back deep for the Tigers is number 5, Cal Cousins.
And a little squib kick. Fort Scott will have to cover it. They do.
Ball down by number 44.
And that took a half second. So covering the ball in a fair catch manner that's not supposed to take any time at all took a half second. And a halfback draw that should, in theory, really take 3 or 4 seconds took 9/10 of a second. So anyway, it'll be first and 10 for Fort Scott. I would imagine the Tigers will kneel it here and go to halftime with a 2-touchdown lead, 28-13. They will run a man in motion. They will run the ball with Cal here up the middle, and he will get to the 50, and the clock will run out. So a gain of about 12 for the Tigers there, and that will close out the first half. So your score here at halftime, Fort Scott 28 and Labette County 13. We'll take a short break and come back. This is Fort Scott Tiger football on Duckbait TV.
A turkey leg from the concession stand. Bank, Community National Bank, Corner Post Insurance, J.J. Bebb, the Corner Store.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back into Altamont, Kansas, as the Fort Scott Tigers lead the Labette County Grizzlies here at halftime, 28-13. Pretty good first half for the Fort Scott Tigers. They
Also, our VIP backers,
took a 20-0 lead early in this game. Labette came back with a one-play touchdown drive. About midway through, a little bit less than midway, or more than midway through. It was about 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. They had a one-play touchdown drive. Jackson, their tailback, took off, got his only hole he's had tonight, and was able to turn it into a long touchdown run for the Grizzlies.
McCarty's Office Machines, Miller Tire and Lube, Nash Services.
They made the extra point. That made it 20-7. But Fort Scott came back with a two-play touchdown drive of their own as they went down the field to, I believe it was Chase Heyer. Found him wide open down the middle of the field. He was able to chug on in for the touchdown. And the two-point conversion made it 28-7, and then Labette scored right before halftime to make it 28-13. They missed the extra point kick, but they got the touchdown. So it is a two-score game here at the break. Fort Scott will have the ball to start the third quarter in just a few moments. Again, we are dealing with a little bit of a bandwidth issue right now, it appears. So our video is a little bit jerky, and so we do apologize for that. We will try to get that figured out as we go through this week, and hopefully we'll have a better picture for you in Fort Scott next Friday. Hopefully you're hearing us fine. I've been told that it's just the video that's a little bit jerky, so again, we do apologize for that. Sometimes when you're out here, and I know there is a town here at Altamont, but it's a pretty small one, and sometimes you get those situations you just deal with bandwidth issues, and with our camera the way that it is, and what we're pushing through as far as quality, we need a higher bandwidth, and so sometimes it's hard to get that out here in these little Kansas towns, and so we do apologize for that. We will look at what we can do, and hopefully have a better picture for you in Fort Scott on next week for homecoming. I know that's going to be important for a lot of folks, so hopefully we'll be able to get that done for you. But anyway, stay with us. Hopefully we haven't turned anybody away at this point with the jerkiness of the video. It's been a pretty good game so far for the Fort Scott Tigers, and so we want to thank you for joining us here on Duckbait TV. We've got a lot of great sponsors this year. And, in fact, we have a new one this week, so we want to thank Joey Fritter for coming on board with this this week. Joey Fritter is a loan officer with Open Mortgage. Open Mortgage is a multi-channel mortgage lender, believing that better is possible, constantly striving to bring a better mortgage experience to everyone. Joey can assist you when buying a home from start to finish. Her office is located at 1 East Wall Street in Fort Scott. Call today to get pre-qualified for a home loan. And that phone number for Joey Fritter is 620-644-8146. Liberty Savings has been in Fort Scott since 1919, helping community members with their banking needs for over 100 years. Visit them at 24 South Judson or call 620-223-0300. State Farm agent Cale Nelson is your local agent for home and auto. Contact Cale for a quote. Visit Cale's website at calenelson.com or give him a call at 620-223-2828. Highway 3 has modern personalized fleece name blankets along with a lot of fun and unique personalized gifts. You can also now find Highway 3 products at several retail stores in the area. For more information, follow their Facebook page at facebook.com/shophighway3 or check out their website, shophighway3.com. Edward Jones has been advising customers in the world of finance for over 100 years. Financial advisor Jamie Armstrong continues that tradition in Fort Scott. Contact Jamie by phone at 620-223-1866 or email Jamie at jamie.armstrong@edwardjones.com. H2 Painting LLC, the right way the first time. Look them up on Facebook at facebook.com/H2Painting SEK or call them at 620-605-2769. And Chad Cousins is your local 1842 Wealth Management financial advisor. Contact Chad for more information by email at chad@1842wealth.com or call us at 620-215-9240. Again, thanks for joining us here on Duckbait TV. If you haven't subscribed to our channel, we do encourage you to go ahead and do that. We've got over 100 subscribers. I checked it this afternoon, so we had coming into the game, we had over 100 subscribers. So thanks for that. We get to 1,000 subscribers, and YouTube will automatically archive our broadcast. So we want to make sure we get to that 1,000 subscriber threshold. We've had a few questions over the last few weeks about how to hit the subscribe or find the subscribe button. If you're watching on your computer screen, the subscribe button should be right underneath the picture. If you're watching in full screen, if you're not watching in full screen mode, so if you are watching in full screen mode, make sure you get out of that real quick and just look right underneath the picture. You should be able to find the subscribe button there. Same thing if you're watching on your phone. Just make sure your phone is in portrait mode. So if you're watching in landscape, I watch a lot of things on my phone, but I watch it in landscape, sideways, right? And so if you're doing that, make sure to move it into landscape mode, portrait mode, and you should be able to find that screen in very easily too, or the button underneath the screen there for that one. Here's the kickoff for Fort Scott. It's going to be taken and covered by the Tigers right inside the 35-yard line.
10 for Fort Scott. Doug Chipman.
So 28-13.
For the Tigers on the 34-yard line.
Fort Scott with the lead as we start the second half here tonight. Lennox will hand off. No, he'll keep it right up the middle for the first play of the second half.
Tackled by number 22, Clinton.
Minimal gain there for the Tigers.
Number 10, Matthew Jarman. Gain 3 on the play. Then second down and 7.
Handoff goes to Cal Cousins. He'll come to the near side, and he will work it to the 40-yard line. So it'll be third down and about 4 for the Tigers.
They had 2 on the play. The third down and 5. Third down and 5 for the Tigers.
So third down, did I say 3rd and 6? I meant 3rd and 4. Oh, they've got 3rd and 5 on the scoreboard. It is 3rd down and 4 for the Tigers. Van with a hard count, going to snap it, keeps it to the right side. He gets the first down and maybe 1 or 2 more. So it'll be 1st down and 10 for the Tigers. Here's a pitch to Hire. He'll get around the left side. He'll get by one, two guys. Does get taken down by the third guy, but he gets into the secondary of Labette County, and he's going to pick up yardage down to about the 39-yard line, and the 38. They give him an extra yard, and so it'll be first down and 10 Fort Scott from the Grizzly 38-yard line. And now Lennox is going to keep the ball to his left. He gets 6, maybe 7 on the play. We'll see where they put it down, maybe even 8. Let's see. The official is coming to the near side. And he's telling the Labette County head coach something, or did tell him that, and he's relaying that to the press box, I guess. I'm not sure exactly what the question was there. Now Fort Scott with a man in motion. They will hand it off, looks like to Jasper, and he's going to get right close to the first down marker. And they're going to give it to him. So without even measuring, they give the Tigers the first down. So it'll be first down and 10 for Fort Scott. Again, 9:28 and counting here in the third quarter. The ball is going to be right at the 28, it looks like. And they will hand it this time to Colton Rogers, and he's not going to get much. Maybe right back to the line of scrimmage, but I think that's it. So it'll be second down and 10. 28-13, Fort Scott with the lead here in the third quarter. 8.5 to play. They'll pitch it to Cal. He's got a wide open lane through the defensive line into the secondary, and he's going to be taken down at the 2-yard line. A big gain for Cal Cousins off the right tackle. It'll be first and goal, Tigers. Fort Scott content to just take some time here, too. If they can get a touchdown and take a 3-touchdown lead again. They've taken nearly 4 minutes off this third quarter clock. Lennox is going to hold on to the football, try to follow his lead blockers, gets to the 1, but that's about all. The clock will dip under 8 minutes to play in the third quarter before Fort Scott will need to snap it again here. Tigers all the way down in the right end zone as you're looking at the screen, of course. That's the south end zone here at Lucas Field. Tigers trying to take some time here as well. That play clock's only down to 23, so they got plenty of time here for this second down and goal play. Ball on the 1. They will hand it to Colton, and he gets in the end zone. Touchdown, Fort Scott Tigers. Touchdown, Colton Rogers. So that'll make it 34-13. And Lennox will come back out and attempt another PAT. Another kick here. Ooh, a couple of Labette County guys almost collide with each other trying to get in there and block it, but Lennox, he didn't mind. He just kicked it straight through the uprights. No problem at all for Lennox on that one. That makes it 35-13 in favor of the Tigers with 7 minutes and 30 seconds to play here in the third quarter. We've got some recent results to share with you Actually, first, let's do this. Got a little bit of time here. See if I can get through this one. Each year, the Tigers get to honor those with cancer, those who have survived cancer, and those who have lost their fight with cancer by hosting a pink out football game. This year, the dance and cheer squads are going to kick it up a notch as they will host the inaugural Tigers Fight Cancer Night on Friday, October 13th. All cancer sucks, and everyone has been impacted by it differently. So everyone is invited to get involved in one or more of 3 ways. The dance and cheer teams will be selling shirts via an online store in the color of whichever cancer you want to support the fight of. A Facebook event called Tigers Fight 2013 has been created, and has the link to purchase those shirts to wear to the Spring Hill game. Again, that's October 13th at Prairie Field. It's also senior night if you're somebody that keeps track of things that way. All proceeds from the shirt sales will go to Care to Share. There's a couple more ways we'll share with you in just a moment to help out with that Tigers Fight Cancer Night, as the kickoff is taken and covered by Labette County right around the 35-yard line. If you'd prefer not to have a shirt but still want to support cancer patients and their families in Fort Scott, you can use Care to Share's Venmo account, which is at Care to Share the sharing bucket, to donate money directly to Care to Share. And as you come into Prairie Field on October 13th, be sure to pick up a support sheet. You'll be able to write the name of a loved one who has defeated cancer, is currently battling cancer, or who has lost their battle with cancer on those sheets when you arrive. There will be a moment of silence during the game, and everyone will be encouraged to share that sign as Labette County runs the first play to the near side for only a couple of yards. So it'll bring up second down and about 8, maybe even 7, depending on where they spot this football. If you're unfamiliar with the support sheets, if you've watched the NFL the last few years, if you've watched the MLB, I know the All-Star Game, they've done it. I know the World Series, I believe that they've done it. That's the commercial break where everybody stands up and shows that little card with whoever's name on it that you're supporting that has battled cancer. So that's going to be a really cool event. Again, that'll be October 13th. The Spring Hill game, it'll be the final home game of the regular season for the Tigers. That's in a couple of weeks, so mark your calendar for that, as this run here for Labette is off to the right side, just a yard, maybe a yard lost actually on the play. It'll bring up 3rd down and 8 for the Grizzlies here. Again, they've got to get it to the 43-yard line. They've got it right now on the 35. The online store closes on Monday, so you've only got a couple of days left to get your shirt ordered for that event coming up on October 13th. So make sure you get that shirt ordered by Monday. Pass to the near side, nearly intercepted by Cal Cousins. It falls incomplete, but it'll be 4th down and 8 here for Labette County. That's a really cool event coming up. Again, that'll be on October 13th. It's the Spring Hill game. It's also senior night. It'll be the final home regular season game for the Tigers. So next week is homecoming against Chanute, and then Spring Hill will be the following week. So make sure to mark your calendars for that. And again, that online store will close on Monday. So make sure you get those T-shirts ordered soon if you haven't done that already. And choose whatever cancer, whatever color. They've got a lot of them on that link. That's, again, on that Facebook page. Here's a punt straight up in the air. It's going to come down right around the 40 and take a Labette County roll near the 30. Looks like the 31 is where Fort Scott will start with possession here on their second drive of the second half. But anyway, that's a really cool event coming up. Again, the Facebook page, if you're looking for that, that's easier for me to say what the Facebook page is than to do all the letters and the numbers and everything in the link. The Facebook page is Tigers Fight 2023. So make sure to go to that Facebook page. It's got the link to the shop on there, the online shop. So again, that's Tigers Fight 2023. Make sure you go there and get your T-shirt ordered by Monday. Monday is when that online store will close. So make sure to do that. At least going to call a pass play, and now Lennox is going to try to run with the ball, as he had a couple of receivers downfield, but they were covered, and so he took off, trying to get some positive yardage out of that. Got maybe a yard on the play, so it'll bring up 2nd down and 9. Clock rolls under 6 minutes to play here down to 5:48 to go in the third quarter. Tigers with the lead, 35-13. Handoff. Nope. Lennox is going to keep the ball. He'll get to the right side. He's going to get 5 yards or thereabouts. So 3rd down and about 4 here for the Tigers. Ball's going to be on the 37-yard line. 1 receiver in the formation to the top of your screen. He's going to hand it off. Lennox will to, looks like Jasper again or Colton. Either one. Jasper, it looks like this time, and he's going to be taken down right around the line of scrimmage. So it'll bring up 4th down, and the Tigers will punt, it looks like. At least they're going to bring their punting unit on and line up to kick this one away. Fort Scott trying to hold on to this 35-13 lead. They have really had control of this one from the outset, much like the Independence game a couple of weeks ago. The score of the Independence game didn't really portray that, but the game itself did. That punt by Colton's going to roll inside the 30 down to the 28. So that's where the Tigers or the Grizzlies will take over on their own 38 or 28. Yeah, own 28-yard line. .409 to play here in the 3rd quarter. Labette will take over on their own 28-yard line. See if we can get some other scores for you here at the quarter break. As there are a couple other SEK League games going on tonight as well. Here's a pitch to the far side. Jackson will take it up the field, and he will get right around 5 yards on the play. Maybe closer to 5.5. It'll be 2nd down, and we'll call it 4. Two receivers stacked to the near side, 2 receivers stacked to the far side. Again, the quarterback, Holtzman, is out of the pistol formation. Clock continuing to roll towards 3.5 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Tigers need a hold on defense here. High snap. They'll get it down and hand it to Jackson. He'll bring it to the near side, gets back to the line of scrimmage, maybe 1 positive yard, but not much else on the play. It'll bring up 3rd down for Labette County. So Independence is at Chanute tonight. We'll see if we can get a score from that one here shortly. And Wamego traveled all the way down to Coffeyville this evening. Those are the other 2 games involving SEK League schools. Of course, just 2 league games tonight. This one and the one in Chanute, between Indy and the Blue Comets. Pass to the near side, and it is incomplete. It'll be 4th down and about 3.5 for Labette County. They tried to get a pass to the near side to Lawrence Holt, and it was just outside of his reach. We'll see if they go for it or not. We're getting kind of to that time of the game. They're down by 3 scores with 2:41 to play in the 3rd quarter. They may try to go for it here. If Fort Scott can hold, they'll give him really good field position. The guy who is punting has been punting tonight, Barrett Heston. I don't see him on the field right now. They are going to run a play here. 4th down and about 3. And now we got a whistle. And they're going to get illegal procedure on Labette County. So that'll back them up 5 yards. And now they will send the punt unit out. Hard to believe, but we are halfway through the regular season. That was at the conclusion of last week's game. We're halfway through the 8-game regular season, and Fort Scott coming into tonight sitting in 9th place in the 4A East standings. High punt. It's going to be taken by Cal. Runs to the left, and he's going to get outside of a couple of guys, but gets shoved out of bounds. right around the 40 of Labette County. We'll see where they actually put it down. If the playoffs started tonight, Fort Scott would be at Base or Linwood. Looks like right now Wamego is leading Coffeyville 27-14. That one in the third quarter. And at halftime, Chanute is leading Independence 14-0. A little bit surprised Chanute's not winning by more than that, especially at home against Independence. They're a scrappy team. I tell you what, their defense was pretty good against Fort Scott. They just couldn't score many points against the Tiger defense. Of course, the Tiger defense had a lot to do with that as well. Here's a run by Fort Scott. It looks like Lennox is going to keep it, and he's going to get nearly 9 yards on the play. So he's going to get all the way down to the 31. It'll be second down and short here for the Tigers. 2:17 to go and counting here in the third quarter.
Second down and 1 for the Tigers.
And Lennox is going to keep the ball this time, and he's going to get hit right at the line of scrimmage.
Number 6, quarterback.
I think they're going to give him forward progress to the line of scrimmage, so no gain on the play. It'll bring up third down and 1 for the Tigers.
Third down and 1 for the Tigers.
Clock continues to roll. Again, we're still in the third quarter here. 35-13, Fort Scott with the lead. Under a minute and a half to go here in the third quarter. Fort Scott will need to run another couple plays at least. There's 10 seconds on the play clock here. And Lennox will keep the ball this time, and he's going to get right to the 30-yard line. He needed to get to the 30. We'll see where they spotted. The guy on the near side is saying it's a little bit short. The guy on the far side says it's right at the sticks. And they're going to go with the guy on the near side. So it's going to be fourth down and short.
Fourth down for the Tigers.
I say let's get up there and go with the Eagles play here. And they do that without the push. They got a huge push, and now we got a late flag that comes in, and we'll see what this is about here. Hopefully that's on Labette and not on Fort Scott. The play got them to the 28, so they gained about 2.5 on the play. Lennox Van took the snap and just got right behind his center. Blake Tomasi. And Blake created a pretty good-sized hole there right up the middle, and Lennox was able to take it for about 3 yards. They called unsportsmanlike on Labette County, so this will mark, should be half the distance. They're inside the 30, so it should be half the distance for the Tigers. So it should be down about the 14-yard line here. So it'll be first down and 10 for Fort Scott. 55 seconds to play here in the third quarter. The Tigers trying to punch another one in and take a commanding lead here on Labette County's homecoming night. These games the last couple years have been pretty close, but the Tigers tonight have really had control since the outset. Pitch to the near side. They're going to get it to Hire. Chase gets around the corner. He's going to turn that corner. Gets inside the 5. He'll have the first down. He did not get in the end zone, so he's shy of the touchdown, but he does bring up a first down and goal for the Tigers. So Chase Hire, they get down to the 2, maybe even the 1. The guy on the near side has them at the 1-yard line. So that's where they will start play again here. They will have to snap it once before the end of the quarter. Play clock down to 23 seconds. Game clock down to 40. They will have to snap it at least one time, and I think they're going to try to only have to snap it once. So they're going to call a play here with 13 seconds on the play clock. Lennox will take the snap, and he will get into the end zone. Touchdown, Fort Scott Tigers. Touchdown, Lennox Van. So that will make it 41-13 Tigers. There are 20 seconds to go here in the third quarter. And Lennox will come on to kick the extra point again. Lennox is straight on kicker, and he will kick that sucker up and through the uprights with enough distance that you might see on Saturday or Sunday. He got a lot of that one, and that'll make it 42-13. Again, the Tigers lead this one here with 20 seconds to go in the third quarter. It's been a long time since the Tigers have had been on the right side of a running clock in the fourth quarter. We're not quite there yet, as I believe it's 35 points in the fourth quarter. And the Tigers lead this one by 29, I believe, if my math is correct, which is always suspect to being wrong. But if Fort Scott can get the ball back, get another score, we should be to that threshold and run this clock down in the fourth quarter. 42-13, Fort Scott with the lead here. 20 seconds to go in the third quarter. So Labette will have a couple of plays to finish out this period before we switch ends for the final time tonight. Lennox to kick off. Heston and Holt back to receive again for Labette. They will kick it, and it's off of one of the up men for the Grizzlies, but they do jump on top of it right around the 36, it looks like. So that's where the Grizzlies will take possession. First down and 10.
First and 10 for the Grizzlies on the 36-yard line.
So first down and 10 for Labette. Back to pass. Throw over in the middle is intercepted, I believe. Are they going to say? What are they going to say? They are going to say intercepted. Intercepted by Ty Marbury. What a play defensively by Ty, and the Fort Scott Tiger defense again steps up huge in this one. Just like that, the ball is turned back over to Fort Scott. So the Tigers will take it on their own 41-yard line. I was afraid they were going to say simultaneous catch, and when they say simultaneous catch, the offense gets the benefit of the doubt on that. But Ty was able to get in there and wrestle it away from the Labette County receiver, and it'll be first and 10 for the Tigers. This probably should be the final play of the third quarter. Run up the middle by Jasper is not going to get – actually, that was Colton back in there at that fullback position. He got back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it, and that will take us to the end of the third quarter. So at the end of 3 here tonight, Fort Scott leads this one 42-13 over the Labette County Grizzlies. We'll take a short break and come back with the fourth quarter in just a moment. This is Fort Scott Tiger football on Duckbait TV. So it'll be 2nd down and 10. PA guy just said 1st and 10, but 2nd and 10 to start this 4th quarter for Fort Scott. Lennox will keep the ball around the right side, and he will get a few yards positive there. It'll bring up 3rd down and medium for the Tigers as we begin the 4th quarter of play here tonight. Again, thanks for joining us on Duckbait TV. I know we're having a little bit of a video issue as far as it's kind of hitchy here tonight, and I believe the cause is we're dealing with some low bandwidth tonight, and we do apologize for that. Unfortunately, there's not a whole lot we can do at this point about that, but we will look into that this week. Here's a pitch to the near side, and that will be to, I believe, Cal. Nope, it's Ty. Chase Heyer, Chase Heyer on the carry that time. He and Cal look fairly similar in their football uniforms. I'm sure standing right next to each other, you can tell the difference, but both single numbers. Heyer is number 3. Cal is number 5. They both have similar-looking gloves and shoes and everything else, at least from the press box anyway, so do get those guys mixed up from time to time. Do apologize for that. They both have one arm sleeve. But as I look at it now, Cal's got it on one arm and Heyer's got it. Chase has it on the other. So hopefully I'll be able to figure out the difference between the two as the season goes along here tonight. We got a false start, it looks like, on the Tigers, so they're just going to push them back. It'll be 4th down, and it looks like 4th and 6 for the Tigers here. Again, Fort Scott with the lead, 42-13, coming up on 10.5 to play in the game. Pitch goes to Cal around the right side, trying to find a lane. Does find a lane. Gets the 1st down. He will get into Labette County territory, down close to the 40. We'll see where they put him. It looks like the 43 is all they'll give him on that one, but a great gain there by Cal Cousins, as that will get the ball into Labette County territory down to the 43. 1st down and 10 for the Tigers. Clock continues to roll. Again, Fort Scott trying to close this one out here tonight. And they need all the help they can get as far as the points in the 4A standings. Mentioned earlier, coming into tonight, they're seeded 9th if the playoffs started today, with a plus 1.25 on the points. They need to, it's an average margin of victory or margin of loss, and with 13 being the cap, I believe. So they will get credit for a 13-point win tonight if they continue to hold this 42-13 lead, or if Labette County gets a couple of scores here towards the end of things. But either way, you want to have a good dominating win, another league victory if Fort Scott can hold on here. And go into the big, probably league championship game next week against Chanute. Although Coffeyville is sitting undefeated in the league as well, and Coffeyville's undefeated. Chanute got beat last week, I believe. Chanute did lose last week, but it was a non-league game. They haven't played a league game until tonight anyway. So, anyway, we'll figure that out. 3rd down here for the Tigers. Ball's going to be on the 36-yard line. 3rd down and about 3 here for Fort Scott. Clock down to 8:40 to play in regulation time here tonight. And this run is going to get really close to the 1st down. In fact, they get the 1st down. So another 1st down for the Tigers, and they can just keep holding on to that football. They keep getting 1st downs, of course. Allison with a nice carry that time. He needed about 3, got about 4 on the play. So another 1st down here for the Tigers. Ball is right around the 32, it looks like, for Fort Scott. Again, next week is homecoming for the Tigers. We've got the candidates. They've been announced. after this first down play from the Tigers. Lennox going to hand it off to Chase. Near side, Chase trying to get outside of the Labette County defense, and he will up the sideline to the 10, to the 5.
He's finally taken down there.
Taken down inside the 5, but there's a couple of flags, and this may be blocking the back on the Tigers. Looked like the Grizzlies were pointing for it here on the near side. Well, they call holding. Either way, it's a penalty on the Tigers, and it will back Fort Scott up.
Looks like the penalties against Fort Scott.
So ball will be placed on the 42-yard line. So offensive line for the Tigers will need to back up a little bit more from where they're standing right now.
Ball's on the 42-yard line.
It'll be first down still for Fort Scott. It'll be on the near side hash. So the wide side is the far side. They will same play to the other side. This time it's to Cal. He's going to make one man miss. That may be enough for a score. He's to the 10, 5, angles into the end zone. Touchdown. Fort Scott Tigers. Touchdown, Cal Cousins. They ran an identical play that they just ran with Chase Hire to the near side. They ran it to the far side with Cal, and he gets around the end and into the end zone. 48-13, Tigers with the lead. Back in to try the extra point is Lennox. He is, I believe, 4 for 5 tonight. And now,
And the kick is good.
no. Five for 6, I believe, on kicks tonight as he makes that one there. So 49, had to think about it for a second. They've scored 7 touchdowns, but they did go for 2 at one point. So he has not made 6 or 7 kicks tonight, only 6. He's made 5.
Church, Clemens Insurance, Commercial Bank, Community National Bank, Corner Post Insurance, the Corner Store.
So 49 to 13. Fort Scott with the lead here.
Thank you guys all so much for supporting our Grizzlies.
7:39 left to go here in the game. Yeah, don't forget, homecoming is next week for the Tigers, the game against Chanute. So don't forget about that. We will have as much of the pregame ceremony as we can here on Duckbait TV for you next week. And again, those homecoming queen candidates, Carson Allen, Raven Kegler, Mackenzie Robertson, Jersey Wood, and Keegan Yarrick. Congratulations to those ladies being nominated for homecoming queen. And then, of course, the king candidates are Jasper Allison, Cal Cousins, Cody Geiger, Casey Gomez, and Jericho Jones are the king candidates for next week's homecoming game. Fort Scott running a couple guys on late, but they get enough guys on, and now the ball goes straight through a couple of sets of Labette County legs. They will pick it up and run it to the near side, though. He's got some room and gets taken out of bounds right around midfield. In fact, they're going to
There by number 1, Lawrence Holt.
So Holt with the carry on the return, and that's going to get into Fort Scott territory to the 47. So that's where Labette will take over here. 7:15 to play in the game. 49-13, Fort Scott with the lead. And again, Holtzman still at quarterback, and he's going to get hit right in the backfield at the 50-yard line.
Behind the line of scrimmage
think Jasper Allison.
Before Scott. Lost 2 on the play.
Actually, it looks like Wesley Cox was the one that got in there, playing defensive end right now for the Tigers. So he got in there on that one that time. 6:42 to play. They'll throw it to the near side, a little bit of a screen-type play, and they'll run him out of bounds right at the 46-yard line. So they get the ball to Holt on the near side, and he will take it up the sideline for a few yards, but it's going to be 3rd down and about 3rd down and 7 here, it looks like, for Labette. They've got to get the ball to the Fort Scott 42. 37. Throw it. Similar play to the far side this time. Nice catch over there. Fort Scott able to corral the receiver. Saw Colton Rogers in there. A couple other Tigers with Colton on that tackle. The play was to Keegan Bates. And it'll be 4th down and 3. He got right to the 40. It's about 3 yards short. So 4th down here for Labette. And looks like he got out of bounds. The clock is stopped with 6:15 to go. 4 receivers, 2 each way. Quarterback out of the pistol. They'll throw a little short route again to the near side. It is complete this time. Fort Scott trying to jump up and knock it away and couldn't quite get there. So Ty Marbury was on the defense there for the Tigers, but that was completed. And Ty was trying to come up and knock that ball away, maybe even trying to intercept it, and just couldn't get it in time. And it was caught and taken there by Labette. Now they're going to run it right up the middle, and that's really about the 2nd time Jamal Jackson has gotten a good gain on the ground for Labette. He had a hole on one play in the first half, ended up scoring a long touchdown run. And that's about only the second time he's had a hole in this one. Fort Scott's done a pretty good job most of the night on that front line, corralling Jackson in the running game here for Labette County this evening. They'll throw it again this time. Over the middle, and it is nearly intercepted. Nice defense again by Brody Gomez. He has really stepped into that safety role well for the Tigers this year. Stepped in front of the receiver and nearly had another interception for Fort Scott. Going to stop the clock here. It's an incomplete pass. I believe the run rule, the running clock rule, is 35 points. And we're not quite there yet, as it is 49-13. Somebody in the press box, I'm sure, thought it was just 30.
Nice run up the middle there by number 24, Jamal Jackson.
So Jackson gets the carry that time and does pick up the 1st down. So the clock will stop with 4:31 to play.
1st down.
Yeah, I guess it is 36. I told you I can't do math. So 49-13, the lead here for Fort Scott. That is a 36-point lead. So, yeah, I'm not sure why they stopped the clock then on the incomplete pass. If the run rule is the mercy rule, I guess, you would say in football.
2 is Caden Cannon. 21 is Caden Bradley. No gain on the play. 2nd down and 10 for the Grizzlies.
So no gain on that previous play. 2nd down and 10 for Labette County coming up. They're going to hand it off to Jackson again, right up the middle. And he will get a few yards, down to about the 16 or so. Gain of about 4 on the play.
3rd down and 6 for the Grizzlies.
49-13. Fort Scott with the lead over Labette County. This is a Grizzly team that won their first game of the season but haven't won since then. Here's a pass. It's incomplete, too high for the receiver. And goes incomplete. They beat Circle in the first week and beat them pretty soundly. 40-28 was the final score there. But they lost the rivalry game with Parsons in week 2, 24-13. Got blown out by Pittsburgh a couple of weeks ago, 45-6, and then lost at Wellington last week, 46-24. And again, they did not convert a point after try in that game against Wellington. They actually scored 4 touchdowns to get to those 24 points, but they missed all of their they missed a couple of kicks and a couple of 2-point conversions. Quarterback, he's going to throw it over the middle, and it's, nearly intercepted, and they're going to get a penalty flag here on the Tigers, I think.
Flag on the play.
Tough luck for Fort Scott, as I think they're going to get a targeting call on the defensive back over there. As couldn't quite tell who that was over there. Think it was Morgan Shaw. He was the corner. I couldn't quite tell who the safety was for Fort Scott, but they both converged on the receiver. And the safety, who I believe is Ty still in there, he came forward to get to the ball, and Morgan went behind to make sure the receiver didn't catch a deflection or anything like that, and they're going to get a penalty on Morgan, unfortunately for Fort Scott. Some Bronx cheers on the near side by Labette County. And that's what they call the targeting there. Very similar to the, and I can't remember the guys' names now, but the national championship between Florida and Oklahoma several years ago that was in the documentary that they just did about that Florida team with Tim Tebow and Urban Meyer. Very similar to that, which 10 years ago, that was a legal play. They've taken that out of the game, tried to take that out of the game for safety purposes, and I get it. I understand. But also Morgan's trying to make sure, we've seen a lot of deflected passes caught by opposing Tiger teams this year, and so Morgan's trying to make sure that that receiver doesn't catch a deflected pass for a touchdown. Deflected pass for a touchdown was the only score that Independence had on Fort Scott a couple of weeks ago. And a couple other deflected plays have turned into big gains for the Tigers' opposition this season. 49-13, first and goal now from the 1, and this may be another flag on Morgan. He did not get his head turned around. I'm not sure why there's been a change in recent years, but there has been a change in defensive back coaches telling their defensive backs to face guard, and unfortunately, that is going to get a flag most of the time. You've got to at least turn your head around and look for the ball. Morgan did not do that, and so he's going to get flagged for the penalty here. I've seen it all over football, whether it's the high school level, the college level, the pro level. And everybody's doing it. Everybody is being taught, it appears, to face guard and stay with your man. Don't look for the football, but if you don't look for the football, you're going to get flagged 9 times out of 10, and that was the case there. So another first down and goal here for Labette County. 2:18 to play in the game. Nice run right up the middle for Fort Scott, the defender, but he missed the tackle, and then Jackson gets a couple more yards, so he's going to get a couple of yards on the gain. They'll put it down right around the 3, maybe in between the 3 and the 2. Actually, that may have been no gain on the play, but one of the Tigers' defensive linemen got through the hole that was made for Jackson and nearly got him about 5 yards deep in the backfield. This time he's going to snake around the Tiger defense and gets into the end zone for the score. So Jackson gets in for his second touchdown tonight. That'll make it 49-19. Fort Scott still with a 30-point lead here. But again, time winding down to 1:40 left in this one. And the kick is up and good.
By number 5, Nolan Nabb. Nice hold there by number 4, Hagen Bates. And a good snap.
And
21, 22.
well, now it's a 29-point lead. I don't know why the clock is running now. Even if it was a 30-point threshold, it's under that 30 points now. It's not going to make a difference in the result of the game. The kick was good, so that makes it 49 to 20. 40 seconds now, and the clock continuing to roll, and it looks like they're just going to let the clock run out on this one here tonight.
Next week, the Grizzlies travel to Coffeyville.
So the final score will be 40 to 29. They won't even make Labette County kick off here. And that's understandable, but
thank you very much for coming out to the game tonight.
don't know that that's actually the rule. But it works, and it works in favor of the Tigers tonight, as they will come away victorious here this evening. Final score 49 to 20. Fort Scott with the win tonight over Labette County. So again, a big win for the Tigers this evening as they get that victory and will improve to 3-2, their first road win of the season. And really played a phenomenal second half. Did have 28 points at halftime, but really made it stick in the second half. Just the one Grizzly score after halftime. So again, Fort Scott with the win. And they will improve to 3-2 overall and will remain undefeated in SEK League play. So again, a big win here tonight for the Fort Scott Tigers as they win this one 49 to 20 over the Labette County Grizzlies. Again, a huge thanks to our sponsors here on Duckbait TV. As we've got a new one for this week. Again, a huge thanks to, see if I can find the right spot here. Huge thanks to Joey Fritter, who jumped on board with us this week. Joey Fritter is a loan officer with Open Mortgage. Open Mortgage is a multi-channel mortgage lender, believing that better is possible. Constantly striving to bring a better mortgage experience to everyone. Joey can assist you with buying a home from start to finish. Her office is located at 1 East Wall Street in Fort Scott. Call today to get pre-qualified for a home loan at 620-644-8146. H2 Painting LLC, the right way, the first time. Look them up on Facebook at facebook.com/H2PaintingSEK or call them at 620-605-2769. Chad Cousins is your local 1842 Wealth Management Financial Advisor. Contact Chad for more information by email at chad@1842wealth.com or call 620-215-9240. Liberty Savings has been in Fort Scott since 1919, helping community members with their banking needs for over 100 years. Visit them at 24 South Judson or call 620-223-0300. State Farm agent Cale Nelson is your local agent for home and auto. Contact Cale for a quote. Visit Cale's website at calenelson.com or give him a call at 620-223-2828. Highway 3 has modern personalized fleece name blankets along with fun and unique personalized gifts. Easy enough for me to say. You can also find Highway 3 products at several retail stores in the area now. For more information, you can follow their Facebook page at facebook.com/shophighway3 or check out their website, shophighway3.com. Edward Jones has been advising customers in the world of finance for over 100 years. Financial advisor Jamie Armstrong continues that tradition in Fort Scott. Contact Jamie by phone at 620-223-1866 or email Jamie at jamie.armstrong@edwardjones.com. Again, a big win here tonight for the Fort Scott Tigers as they beat Labette County 49-20. It'll be the second of 3 straight homecoming games for Fort Scott as they played Pittsburgh on Pittsburgh's homecoming last week. Play Labette County on Labette County's homecoming this week, and they will play their own homecoming next Friday. So make sure to come out to Prairie Field. If you can't make it out to Prairie Field next week, we will have coverage for you here on Duckbait TV, so join us for that. And again, we talked about it earlier, but the Tigers Fight Cancer Night is coming up on October 13th. So make sure if you haven't gotten your T-shirt for that, they've got T-shirts in several colors that honor the fight of all different cancers. So make sure to get a T-shirt there. They've got an online store. They've got a link to that online store on Facebook. It's a Facebook event called Tigers Fight 2023. So make sure to go to that, click on that link, and order that T-shirt. The store is open until Tuesday. So the store closes Monday, October 2nd. So this upcoming Monday, that store closes. So make sure if you haven't gotten that T-shirt ordered, make sure to do that and wear that to the game on October 13th. That is the Spring Hill game. It's also senior night. So it's not this upcoming Friday, but the following Friday. So make sure to wear that shirt for that. Again, that's going to be a big event that's going to be honoring everybody who has fought cancer at some point in time. So make sure to come prepared for that. There will be a moment of silence, and everyone can share a person's name on a card, and they will have those cards for you that night as well. So make sure to come and take part in that. So definitely do that. It's not just breast cancer. All cancer sucks, right? So definitely a good night for that. Not sure if you can hear on the microphone, but they're having a stadium-wide prayer here to close out the game tonight for Labette County. Kind of a cool thing. You don't see that very often anymore. But neat to see. Let's check a couple of scores here. Some area games. Looks like Iola is leading Burlington 36-32. That one in the fourth quarter. Prairie View beating Girard. Man, the CNC's really down this year. Girard losing that to Prairie View 21-0. Let's see if we can get any closer games to us here. Humboldt cruised over Eureka 62-0. Fredonia lost to Cherryville, or is losing to Cherryville 27-12. Trying to find some SEK games here. Parsons is beating Riverton 20-0 in the fourth quarter of that game. Yeah, maybe about all that I'm seeing here. Jayhawk Lynn is beating Central Heights. Jayhawk Lynn's got a pretty good team this year. And the Lynn County, I don't know if they have a trophy for that game or whatever, but that's going to be a heck of a game. Pleasanton beat Southeast tonight 42-6. And Jayhawk Lynn is beating Central Heights 28-0. That Lynn County battle might be for the league championship there in the Three Rivers League. See if I can find some others. Crest over St. Paul. That one's still a halftime score, 14-0. Crest with the lead over St. Paul. Crest has a really good program the last several years. Went to grade school with the coach there at Crest, Nick McAnulty. If he's still the coach there, he's doing a great job with Crest the last few seasons. That's about all I'm seeing right now at this point. Frontenac beat Columbus 41-7. Baxter Springs beat Galena. That one looks like still in the fourth quarter, but 28-20. Baxter with the lead over Galena there. Getting a lot of scores here in the southern part because of where we're at. Our app takes account of where we are currently, our current location, so that's why we're getting a lot of those other games in this area. But anyway, lots of fun stuff here tonight. Did want to send some shout-outs to some of the others. I mean, we cover a lot of Fort Scott, or a lot of football. We're going to cover a couple of more volleyball games as we go forward, but I did see a couple of things online this week. Congratulations to Lucy Duncanson. Lucy Duncanson was named SEK Honorable Mention for girls golf, so congratulations to Lucy. The girls tennis team had good results this past Monday in the Paola Quad. The team placed first, and then Abby Gorman and Caroline Barnes both won their singles portions of the tournament. And then Briley Heimer and Joyce Self, the doubles team there, they finished first in doubles, and the doubles team of Kinsley Brown and Cadence Hunziker finished second in doubles. So congratulations to those ladies. Some really good results there for the Lady Tiger tennis team and the golf team. The freshman volleyball team also won the Parsons Freshman Tournament. That was last Saturday. So congratulations. They got a slew of freshman volleyball players. And they did a great job in winning that freshman volleyball tournament last week. Yesterday, the soccer team, they defeated Paola 5-2. So congratulations to the Tiger soccer team, Coach G, as they got some good results yesterday. And then also the lost my place here. Varsity volleyball, they went down to Girard last night. They beat Columbus in 2 sets. They beat Pittsburgh in 2 sets, but then they lost the nightcap to Girard in 2 sets. So 2-1 on the night for Lady Tiger volleyball. That was still a pretty good game, pretty good night for them there. And a couple other events coming up here is tomorrow the girls tennis team will be at the SEK tournament in Parsons. First serve is bright and early at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. The cross-country team travels to Baldwin with action also set to begin at 9 o'clock in the morning. And the debate team will be at Pittsburgh tomorrow. So several events going on there. Did want to pass this along because I saw there was a change on Monday. The freshman football team, they will now travel to Nevada. So the freshman football team will be at Nevada. I believe that's the change in the schedule there. Kick will be at 5 p.m. there at Lions Field is the baseball stadium, I think, over there in Nevada. But anyway, they'll be at the football field at Nevada, of course. Freshman football at Nevada on Monday. And the JV football team, they'll still be at home against Labette County Monday evening. That game will start at 5:30. But again, the freshmen will go over to Nevada. So again, did want to pass that along. That was on social media this week, but I did want to pass that along. I saw that, made sure to get that out as well. And then, of course, girls golf goes to Independence on Monday. Volleyball will be right here in Altamont on Tuesday. And they'll take on the Lady Grizzlies in Parsons. And then soccer will be at Parsons on Tuesday as well. So a couple more teams heading this direction for the Tigers early next week. Did find this, did want to pass this along. A couple of teams the Fort Scott Tigers have already played. The only 2 losses for the Tigers on the schedule. They played each other tonight. Paola is in Pittsburgh, and in the fourth quarter, they lead. Paola leads Pittsburgh 19-16. So that's a heck of a ball game there. We might try to see if we can catch the end of that one on the radio on the way home. That looks like it's going to be a good finish there. Paola leading Pittsburgh 19-16 right now. That game in the fourth quarter. So anyway, lots of good stuff going on here tonight for the Tigers as they win this one 49-20. Again, thanks so much for joining us here on Duckbait TV. Again, a huge shout out to all of our sponsors. We'll go ahead and flash that screen back up there for you as we close things out here tonight. And again, huge thanks to all of our sponsors, especially Joey Fritter coming on board with us this week. So do want to mention that as Joey's a brand new sponsor with us this week. So again, thanks to Joey for supporting us. This has been fun. I tell you what, this has been really amazing to be able to get the opportunity to do this. And everything's kind of had to line up perfectly, but it's worked out really well. And we want to thank everybody for tuning in each week here on Duckbait TV. Again, I believe a little bit of a bandwidth issue here tonight as far as the video, and so we do apologize for the sketchiness with the video. We will try to work on that this week and see if we can get a better tone. It sounds really weird to say this, but we might have to tune back the quality to get a better picture, if that makes sense. There's a way to do that just because we're pushing a lot of quality through that bandwidth, and we need a lot of bandwidth to be able to do that in a perfect way. So we'll work on that this week. Hopefully we'll have a better picture for you next week. Again, don't forget, if you can't make it to Prairie Field Friday night for the homecoming game against Chanute, we will have the coverage for you here on Duckbait TV. So join us on YouTube.com here on Duckbait TV for that. And looking forward to it. Looking forward to the week coming up for the Tigers as they improve to 3-2 with a 49-20 victory over Labette County. Again, thanks for tuning in this week. For my dad on the camera tonight, Willie Abate, and all the Duckbaits out there, I'm Tony Abate. Thanks for joining us for Fort Scott Tiger football on Duck Bait TV. Good night, Kansas.